Hey everybody, welcome to this Whiteboard Monday, and today I want to talk to you about one thing that all marketers do. So if you're in the chat, think about what is the one thing that every single good marketer does. So there's probably a lot of things that good marketers do. They are looking to increase their sales, they're looking to convert better, they're looking to sell more products, right? They're looking to write great copy on Amazon, have great images, but what is the one thing that all great marketers do? So I'm going to write down this word, and the word is testing. Okay? And this is especially important also on Amazon, right? Because there's so many different things you can test on Amazon to optimize your listings. There is your price, there is your images, there's your copy, you have your sponsored ads. There's a lot of things that you can test, even as far as your product itself and how you're going to package it and how you're going to bundle it or what you're going to do with it, right? So testing is really, really important. So what can you use on Amazon to make sure that you're implementing testing? So what I want to look at is talking today about your sessions and conversions, okay? So I'm going to write down sessions and your unit session percentage, okay? So if you go on Amazon and you go into your business reports, you'll find detailed page traffic reports on the left-hand side. And if you click on that report, it'll show you for the last month a lot of data on your ASINs. If you have a lot of ASINs, a lot of SKUs, you're going to see a big list and you're going to see a lot of data on that list. So what do you want to look at and how do you want to use that data? So the first thing you want to understand is that your unit session percentage is essentially your conversion rate. But one of the things about Amazon is that Amazon doesn't just take your conversion rate into account. They also take into account the amount of units that you've sold in one session. So the more units you sell per session, the better. What does that mean by saying the better? It means that if I send somebody to my listing and they buy 3 units, and you send someone to your listing and they buy 1 unit, I'm going to consistently rank better than you for keywords on Amazon than you are. The reason why, people are buying multiple units on my listing versus somebody buying, let's say, only 1 unit on your listing. So what are some of the things that I do when I go in and look at this report on a regular basis in order to use the data? So the first thing that you could do is you can sort the data, right? So you want to take this data and you want to sort it. Okay? And the first thing I do is I want to look for the best opportunities in order to use this information to increase my sales. So what do? So I go into actually one column there that says what your total sales are. And what I want to do is I want to sort that by descending. Okay? So go to your sales on that report and sort by descending. Okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to show you your products that have had the most sales over the last month, right? And the reason is because when I look at my products and I want to spend my time taking those products to the next level, I want to focus on my products that are already selling really, really well, that are getting a lot of traffic that I can take to the next level, right? I don't want to focus on a product that has sold, or at least initially, right? I don't want to focus on a product that has sold $3,000 in the last month. I want to focus on one of my products that has sold $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in the last month to see if this product is already getting really good traffic, really good sales, but maybe the conversions are not where they should be. And if I can only increase that conversion a little bit, an incremental increase in the conversion, I'm already getting the traffic. I can get that much more in sales versus a product that's getting low traffic that even if I do and implement some things to get more conversions, it may not help all that much because the product is not getting so much traffic. And that's kind of a separate issue that I'll deal with in the future. But the first thing I want to focus on is I want to take my products that have the most sales. I'm going to go to my business reports, go to the detail page by traffic, and I'm going to look at the products that are getting the most sales. So let's take an example, right? So let's say you have a product and in the last month it sold $10,000. You're getting a certain amount of traffic, and your conversion rate is your unit session percentage, let's say, is 4%. It's kind of a typical conversion percentage on Amazon. You'll probably find products converting anywhere between 2-3% up to 15 to 20%, maybe even higher, right? Where I'd love to be on all my products is 10%, but in the reality is they're not all at 10% or higher. Some are lower, some are higher. You also have to factor in, what are the factors of why your conversion rate is low. So let's take an example. So let's say this product that I have is at a 4% conversion. Okay, so you want to try to figure out, well, why is this product at a 4% conversion today, and what can I do to make sure that I increase that conversion rate over time and not decrease, right? So maybe this is a new product, right, that you just launched in the last month. And when you started out in the first 2 or 3 weeks, maybe you didn't have any reviews, right? And maybe your conversion rate was low because you didn't have any reviews, and now you're starting to get some reviews, right? So as you're starting to get those reviews, and hopefully they are 4 and 5 star reviews, and you have at least showing 4.5 stars, you should expect your conversion rate to increase, right? So now at the same time, if you see your conversion rate is 4% and maybe you only have 3.5 stars, well, one thing I can probably almost guarantee is that if you're able to take that product with 3.5 stars and increase it to 4 or 4.5 stars, this conversion rate should increase, right? So you want to take a look at that product and ask yourself, what are some of the reasons why this could be a lower unit session percentage than what I want it to be? So let's say, I didn't have much reviews in the beginning. What I want to do is I want to start tracking, right? I want to look at this data and chart it, and probably put together an Excel spreadsheet or have a VA do it for you and track your conversions over time so that you can look and see, what am I doing and what can I do to take the conversions and increase them? Because if I'm selling $20,000 a month and I take that 4% to 8%, that's incremental sales without really doing anything. I'm already getting the traffic, right? So if I can make certain changes to increase it, that can help a lot. So what are some of those changes, right? So the first thing we spoke about is just looking at your reviews, for example, and where you are with that, and seeing if you can increase that. One of the other things that can increase your unit session percentage is the amount of units that you're selling. Okay, so for example, if on average on this product I'm selling 1.1 unit per visitor, right? If I'm able to increase this to 1.4 units per visitor, right, that's going to increase my unit session percentage. Well, what can I do to take this product? Think of some things that you could do to get people to buy, instead of 1 unit, to get to buy 2 or 3 units. Now, each product is going to be different, and some products are more geared to people buying more units, right? If you're selling, let's say, a bar of soap, right? Something that's consumable that people are going to need to buy over and over again. It might be easier for them to buy, 2, 3, 4 units to have for a longer period of time than if I'm selling this eraser, right? And somebody might only need 1. But are you actually taking any steps to get people to buy more than 1 unit? So, for example, on a lot of my listings, I have an offer of a promotion, right? Of buy 2, save 10%. Okay, so if I said to myself, well, I really want to increase my conversion rate. I'm getting all this traffic, I'm getting all these sales. I also know that if my unit session percentage rate goes up, that I'm also going to move up in the rankings ahead of my competition. Then maybe instead of just doing buy 2, save 10%, maybe I'm going to make an offer of buy 2, save 20%, okay? Now, do you think that's going to increase my sales? Well, if it's the right product where people might want to buy more than 1, or, right now, right, Q4, it's a great time to do that because people are buying gifts for other people. I've had reviews on my listings where people have bought the product and said, wow, this is a really great gift. I'm going to buy another one I love this product so much, I'm probably going to buy another one for myself, right? Or this is such a great gift, I'm going to buy one for my mom and one for my aunt, right? I'm going to buy multiple units, right? So there are reasons that even on a product that you normally would only buy one or once, that somebody might buy multiple units if you give them the incentive to do so. So even though I'm kind of cutting into some of my margins here, I'm also selling 2 units at a time. I'm also increasing my unit session percentage, which at the same time is increasing my potential ranking, and at the same time it's a branding play. Why? Because I'm getting more units, more of my products out there into the world where more people see them, more people can share them, talk about them, and potentially recommend them, or people might see that product and say, hey, where'd you get it, right? And buy that product on Amazon. So you want to definitely take a look at that. What's another thing I could do? Well, I can incentivize people to buy more than 2 units, right? I can have a promotion that says buy 2, get 20% off, or buy 3, get 30% off, right? You want to look at your margins and you want to see if it makes sense, right? But these are some things that you could be doing that are just going to increase your unit session percentage really without doing anything else. Okay, so obviously let's talk about the first thing we spoke about, which is testing, right? So all great marketers use testing, right? So if you want to increase your unit session percentage, you want to test. Okay, so what are some things on your Amazon listing that you can could test? Let's kind of write them down here. Okay, one big thing that's going to affect your conversion rate: price. Okay, price can affect your unit session percentage. Doesn't always mean actually a lower price. Sometimes a higher price has a higher perceived value than a lower price. Is it possible that a higher price might increase your conversions? Who knows? What you want to do is you want to test, right? So you want to set a price, maybe run it for a week, and then check your numbers, right, and see what your session percentage is. Now, right now is kind of an odd time to do some of that testing because, this is like a couple weeks before, the holiday season, and so your conversion rates may be higher than normal. So maybe you want to do this in January, for example, right? So you have kind of like an equal level field so that you can actually get good feedback based on your results. But some of the things you can test are price. You can lower your price. Now, if you lower your price, does that mean that you are lowering your profitability? Not necessarily, right? Because if you sold 10 units a day at $25 and now you lowered your price to $23 and you're selling 20 units a day, well, you are actually maybe making more profit per day than you were before because you're selling more units, right? So you always want to test your price. There's tools that you can use out there that will do split testing for you on your products, tools such as Listing Dojo from Viral Launch, or tools such as Splitly that will allow you to split test pricing and test. So you want to test your price. I also recommend that you test generally one thing at a time so that you don't make all these changes at once and you know that the change that you're making is making the impact and not making 5 different changes at once. So you have your price. You have your images. Okay? Specifically, your main image is something that you might want to test, right? Your main image is a lot of what drives. I would say your price, your reviews, and your main image are the 3 key drivers that determine your click-through rate, your CTR percentage. Okay, so you want to test your main image, and you want to make sure you also have great secondary images, but you definitely want to test your main image. Is it possible that if you show your product with the packaging, that may lead to better conversions than your product without the packaging? Maybe not, right? So you want to look at your images and test your images to see if that will improve your unit session percentage. Maybe you add one of your secondary images highlights the coupon code that we just made, right? We just spoke about adding a coupon code for, buy 2, save 20%, or buy 3, save 30%. Maybe one of your secondary images shows the product and has text right next to it that says, buy 2, save 20%, or maybe you add that in your bullet points, right? Can that help increase your unit session percentage? Sure, it's going to bring attention to the fact that you have this offer, and it can increase your unit session percentage, right? So images. Okay, number 3. Your listing copy. Okay, one of the critical things in your listing copy is going to be your title. Okay, again, that's one of the things that's going to contribute to your click-through percentage of people actually seeing the listing. Have you checked what your listing looks like on mobile? Right? Are there things in your title? Is your title long where you have some key components in your title that are towards the end of your title that might not be seen on mobile when people are scrolling through? If that's the case, you might want to test moving some of those things to the front end of your listing. And the way I see things right now is you really want to optimize for mobile, even more than desktop, because that's the future, right? More and more consumers are shopping on mobile, and the statistics show that a lot of consumers are actually, they use multiple devices. They'll initially shop on mobile, might add something to cart, and then they'll go on their desktop to actually check out, right? Because it's kind of easier sometimes to check out. Although with Amazon and one-click shopping, very easy to check out on mobile, but you'll find a lot of people are using multiple devices. You're at a store, you're looking at something, you might look at Amazon, you might add it to cart, or you might want to show your spouse or somebody else, and then you're going to check out later when you come home on your iPad and your computer or a different device, right? So you want to test your listing copy. Okay, and one of the other things that you also want to test is you want to look at your sponsored products, right? So I would add here that number 4 is going to be your sponsored products, right? What kind of traffic are you sending from sponsored product? Is there a lot of traffic from sponsored products that you're sending that's not converting into sales, and that's hurting your conversion rate, right? So you want to make sure that you are optimizing your sponsored products campaigns. The best thing you could do for your sponsored products campaign in terms of optimization is negative keywords. You want to make sure that you're looking at your search term report, or if you're using software, that you're looking at your search terms that customers are using, and you want to look at all the words, all the search terms that customers are using that are not only sending you traffic that's not converting, but they're wasting money, right? There's tons of people that I speak to that say, I'm running an auto campaign or running a manual campaign, and ask them, have you ever added negative keywords? And the answer is no. And if that's you, then you are wasting money. Not only you're wasting money, you're sending traffic that's not converting, that might be hurting your conversion rate on Amazon and possibly hurting your rankings. So you want to make sure that you are using negative keywords. Okay? You want to make sure you're using negative keywords and you add those to your campaigns, because that's going to make sure that traffic that you're sending to your listing that's never converting, one, is costing you money, and then you're not going to send it anymore, which means you're going to increase your unit session percentage, right? Because you're not sending that bad traffic to your listing anymore, which will increase your unit session percentage. That can increase your conversions. Maybe now you've added this buy 2, save 20%. You've added a secondary image. You've improved your copy. Now you really are able to increase your unit session percentage. Okay, so I wanted to give you these tips. One of the other things that you can do is you can also, after you've gone through this process, what you want to do is you want to track the performance of your conversion rate over time, right? So you want to create an Excel spreadsheet or have a VA do this, and as you're making changes, or month over month, you hopefully want to do this kind of testing that will allow you to see how your listings are doing over time. What's going on? Am I getting less traffic? Why am I getting less traffic? Is there more competition? Have my rankings dropped off for certain keywords? Are my unit session percentage going down? Do I have traffic from sponsored products that I'm sending that's not converting? What do I need to look at? What do I need to look at my listing to make sure that it's improving over time, and testing and getting those better results, and really tracking that data, right? Because Amazon really is all about the data, and good marketing, it really comes down to testing and data. Okay, so that's what you want to do. One other tip that I wanted to give you is you can sort by other things when you're looking at this report, at your business reports. So for example, we spoke about sorting by sales. Let's talk about sorting by something else, right? So let's say, we're now going to sort by conversion rate, right? We're going to sort by unit session percentage, okay? Why? Because we want to find what are the products that I have that are already converting really, really well. Where are the products that I have that are converting at, 20%? or 15%, right? That's considered really good. So what's going on with those products? Can I find a way to get more traffic to those products? I know that if I get more good traffic to those products, they're already converting well, then I'm going to increase my sales, right? So, Nate, you needed those notes. Don't worry, Nate. It's recorded. I'll hook you up. Yeah, you want to increase your, you want to be able to increase traffic, right, to those products. So the question you want to ask yourself is, what can I do to increase traffic? So the question is, are you using sponsored products for these high converting products that already have a great unit session percentage? Can you add fuel to the fire to even increase it further by by making those kind of offers? Buy 2 save, buy 3 save, right? Can you implement headline search ads? Right? Are you using headline search ads? You need to have at least 3 ASINs to be able to do that. Maybe if you think creatively, you can make some merchant fulfilled bundles of your products and fulfill them from FBA in order to get those 2 or 3 additional ASINs that you might need, at least 2 ASINs additional that you might need in order to be able to use headline search ads. Okay, are you using product display ads? Okay, in our private label course, we teach product display ads, we teach headline ads, and how you're able to get into AMS. Right now, you cannot get into, you cannot do product display ads unless you get into AMS, and everybody can get into AMS if you know how to go about it. So you want to make sure if you have these products that have great percentage, that's low-hanging fruit to be able to use for both headline ads and product display ads. Okay? So what I hope you get out of this is that you go into your business reports, you schedule some time on your calendar this week, go to your business reports, you can download the reports into an Excel spreadsheet. You can do some sorting right on Seller Central, and you start to really track your conversions over time. Or you have a VA do this and start tracking your conversions over time, and you look at your products that have the highest sales and you start tackling them one by one into taking those products to the next level so that you can increase your amount of units sold per customer session by getting them to buy more units, and also by just improving your overall listing, improving your sponsored product ads on Amazon so that you can increase your overall conversions, which will increase your rankings, which will increase the amount of money that you make on Amazon. So if you like this content, I'm hopefully going to do this, try to do something every Monday for you. Let me know what else you want me to cover. And one other thing I wanted to mention is that our course will be opening up very soon, so look out for that. Check out amazingfreedom.com/early, and you can go and sign up there to be notified. It's probably going to open up the first week of January. We're only going to take probably 100 people in to the course at a time, because that's a lot for us to manage. We actually review every single product idea that you have before you decide to put a bunch of money into it. We vet those ideas for you, and so it's going to open up the first week of January, so look out for that. amazingfreedom.com/early if you want to be notified when that course opens up. So hope you guys love this content. Give me some comments on this if you thought it was helpful, and if you have any questions or you want me to do a follow-up whiteboard session, I'd love to be able to do that, and I'll see you guys in the group. All right, guys, have a great rest of the week.